And we are now on the air.
Hooray! Welcome to Suzie. It's Suzie and Matt at Suzie Health Solutions in Wenatchee, your full service enrollment center for health insurance.
Episode 121.
Okay, it's 121.
Mm-hmm.
It's a palindrome.
Yes.
Yay. Like kayak.
Well, yesterday we were on another podcast.
Yes, we were. We were guest stars, I guess you could say.
Yeah, on the Brian and Matt show.
Brian and Matt.
Brian and Matt.
They need a better song.
Yeah, well,
we don't have a song at all, so I guess I shouldn't be so judgmental about their theme song.
Yeah, but we got kind of hit with some aha moments, or as Brian put, your moment you realized you're a badass.
I still haven't figured out if I'm a badass or not, but evidently other people think I am.
Yeah, it's. But I was thinking more on that. It's just like, there were moments in 2023 that were just absolute clear. It's like, I'm doing something right.
Okay, let's go back a step because our audience don't know who Brian and Matt are.
Okay.
And tell them who Brian and Matt are members and they're owners of an Agency Elephant. Which is a platform we use to do all kinds of things.
That we discovered through Insurance Soup.
Right, through Insurance Soup. And they are just badasses in their own right, do property insurance and run their podcast and invent cool things and do cool things and do, stuff.
Yeah. I consider them badasses because it's like they are so light years ahead of what we do.
But are they? After yesterday, are they actually that far ahead, or are we catching up to them?
Well, it's how we think and how we we had to go into wanted to go into the meeting knowing some numbers,
right? Because 2022 was one of those years.
Yeah, and the only information I had was we were going to talk about our open enrollment.
Right, that was what they wanted us to do, is talk about how our open enrollment went and how we managed it and how we did with just the two of us and all that kind of good stuff. Because what we did is uncommon.
Yeah.
It turns out we're kind of weird. Imagine that.
But it was going into it. I wanted to over prepare.
Because he always does.
It's part of my production routine.
Right.
Is you over prepare, everything falls apart, you go forward.
Yeah, and you've got something else to grab from.
And one of the things that came out early was we had set 600 appointments from October 1st through December 21st.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to the 15th. But anyway, so it's 600 appointments in about 100 days.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And we didn't... And we were starting to get these numbers, and it was just like crazy.
Yeah.
Because going forward and setting a goal that is that big it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I don't remember what our goal was for that. But I don't think it was quite, I mean, did we have a goal for our appointment sets or just set them all?
We never
discussed that.
We never said, our goal was always, okay, hey, we want 100 new customers.
Yeah.
That was our goal walking into it.
That's a workable goal.
And we felt that was workable. And as it spooled up, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And the previous year, which was our biggest year ever, we only did, I think it was like 482.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was.
There's your notes.
Yeah, I got my little notes. Yeah, the previous year appointments was 428.
So we
increased our number of appointments by 39%.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And
yeah, I could tell because I could feel it.
Well, yeah, there were days that I literally called it. It's the Royal Rumble of appointments, because every half hour a new person would come across the door.
Yeah, And that didn't count the phone calls and the walk-ins.
Yeah.
It was just everybody that had scheduled an appointment.
Yeah. So it was we working with them, it's just like, oh my gosh, we did something.
We did. Surprise. It was like, oh yeah, I guess we did do something. It's like, but I'm sitting here going, well, doesn't everybody do that? Are we just finally getting up to normal? It's like, no, we shot right past them.
Yeah, we shot right past normal. It was.
I mean, we shot past them last year,
because Matt was quiet. Because he was working the numbers, because we're describing what we're doing, and I think he was reviewing stuff and math, and it was like, yeah, you guys sent out 24,000 messages.
Yeah, we sent out 24,000 texts, and those are texts of, don't forget your appointment. These are the, hey, thanks for joining us. Hey, this is
what our agency does.
Yeah, send us, do a review on Google for us. And 24,000 of them. That's a lot.
And it was just like, okay, that is unexpected, but okay.
Yeah.
And I think what kind of floored us the most,
that shut you up fast.
Yeah, there were moments where they just came out and just shut up. It was Brian, when we told him, it was like, yeah, we sold insurance at 4 a.m. on Black Friday.
Yeah. No one ever does that.
No one ever does that.
No, I've never heard anyone do Black Friday. When I think of Black Friday, it's my wife going out and buying stuff. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, we made money.
To be fair, that was the first time our Black Friday actually had appointments.
Fully booked appointments, because we've had in the past a couple on the tail end.
Yeah, but I mean, I was booked from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then we went out and did an event.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been this massive, and that was kind of a good feeling to hit it towards the tail end of the year. It's like, oh yeah, I was a badass.
Yes. I guess we were badasses.
But there were other points through the year, thinking back, that it was like, oh my gosh, we were badasses.
Yeah.
Consistently through the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, one of yours had to be Soup Live.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. That was extremely cool.
Because it was I could go first class.
Yeah.
And
with my white ass, you kind of have to.
Yeah, but it was that you were able to go and do that, and on a professional level, because you've never done that before.
That's true. I've never done anything quite like that before.
And so yeah, I know you were just like, I'm badass.
I was overwhelmed, is what I was. I was absolutely overwhelmed by the whole event and had such a good time. But I missed you.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. But maybe I think we're probably both going to go this year.
Yeah, because that's the goal.
That's our goal.
And that was important, though, for you to have that moment of badass realization, because that kind of set you up for the rest of the year.
Did it? Did you see it? Did you see? I'm so in my own head. I don't see things like that.
Well, yeah, because that was the moment that we started pivoting on the commercials.
Oh.
And we worked with some of those early commercials. It's like, okay, yeah, you're not pitching.
Yeah.
You're having a conversation.
And I had to get my style shifted, and it worked. Mm-hmm. It worked, and those ads worked fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, people seem to respond well to them.
But yeah, it's you're coming into your own there. And you couldn't have done that if you didn't have that earlier moment of badassery. Okay,
I couldn't have done it if I hadn't had you behind me. I'm going to give you credit for it. Take it and say thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to. However, we were able to create that, and there's even moments in this last week that you've laughed and said, "Yeah, I'm the Suzie." You have.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So yeah, there have been moments all through that have been supported by that kind of that moment of aha realization that, oh my gosh, I am doing something incredible. I mean, last night you had problems sleeping because it was like, I did this 24,000.
I don't know. It still doesn't feel quite. It still feels like I'm not. I don't know. Yeah. I'm serious. See, this is where I was. I'm absolutely inarticulate about this.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wrap my head around the fact that what we have done, is unusual. It seems like should be how business should be run. But I guess we're doing something different, and it's still throwing me a little bit.
Okay, what did Deltas tell you the other day?
Deltas?
Delta Dental? Tell you the other day?
Oh, yeah. Well, I hit a bonus because I'm in the top 10 of the state for selling dental plans.
Yeah, in Wenatchee.
Yeah. I think last count I was, the email for that said I was number 8, and I'm still in the top 10, so somebody might have pushed me out a little bit. Yeah. But I'm still, that's a lot. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I look at it and go, okay.
Yeah, but that's important to have that kind of outside validation.
Yeah, it is.
And because I know it's something that I didn't have as a kid.
Yeah, outside validation is one of those things that's, for us Gen Xers, was not terribly common.
No, here's your keys to the house. Make yourself some ramen. Good luck.
Yeah. I think there might be some Twinkies in the snack drawer if you're lucky.
Twinkies?
Once, maybe twice.
Wow.
I know. We were feeling really blessed that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it was, might have been some not much usually. Either going on.
Yeah, but it's having those outside and having, Brian and Matt have us on the show. It's like, damn, we did what?
Yeah. The fact that we were invited to be a special guest, that their focus has always been property, and it's like, okay, let's talk to these health people who are doing something extraordinary.
Weirdos.
It's like, we're doing something extraordinary. It doesn't feel extraordinary because I'm in the middle of it.
No.
And I don't have any other experience with health insurance other than what we're doing. Maybe that's it. I have nothing to compare it against.
Yeah, it is incomparable. It's like, having people walk into our office and go, wow, it's nice. We've had multiple people.
I know people like our office.
And but that's, despite being at the other office for 8 years, despite having similar, the same posters hanging up, we never got the response that we're getting with this.
People like the posters.
It was once they said, oh, this is nice, but it was
people like this office.
And it's just like, it's like night and day.
I know which is weird.
And it's just, we built it.
Yeah.
And we built it very purposefully. Some of it is, we had a person professionally hang the pictures.
Yeah, that did make a difference.
And it was just like, oh my gosh, this is entirely different.
Yeah.
And that was, something I was like, I will never hang my own pictures again. Or if I do, I know the secret.
We know a couple. We know a little bit more about the secret sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is, I didn't know how important that was.
Yeah, it really it's amazing how your eyes follow differently when the posters are where they're supposed to be. Yeah. I tried to do something similar when I started my little decorations in my office. I think I did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just still kind of unexpected.
Yeah. But it's like I said, it's those little.
It's just those little subconscious perks.
Yeah, that you don't know, and you got to work on creating them for the people around you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's one of the things. It's like, okay, yeah, I there's points where I want to make sure that I tell my son, hey, you're doing awesome, or that was amazing.
Yeah. Make sure he gets the validation he deserves.
Yeah. One of the things he did recently was he ended up printing 2 of a paper he wrote, and it was just like, I made a point to go out of my way to say, hey, dude, you can write. because
it was a well written paper. I was impressed with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is cool. I made sure he knew that.
Yeah, and that's important to do around you.
Yeah.
We've brought on a new partner with Shayla.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she mentioned was the fact it was a week or two ago on how that we keep inviting her.
Yeah.
And because I never want her to feel alone.
No, and that could very easily happen. And she was it just this week. She mentioned how comfortable she is here.
Mm-hmm.
She's. We want that sense of family.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have invited her along into our madness if we didn't think she was a good fit for us.
Yeah, and it's not that is that we know that our madness is a growing one.
Yeah, and we need to have people who are going to grow with our vision.
And the only way people are going to grow is having these little moments of clarity of like, oh my gosh, I am doing amazing. I need to keep doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically it. So you gotta be coachable, and you gotta be coaching.
Yeah.
And the only way you can understand that is with these moments, because it's measurable. Yep. And we had a bunch last year. My first one was sitting was being invited by Coordinated Care.
Yes.
As one of the top producers.
Yes.
I had to go over to Seattle because it was to an event I wasn't planning on going. It was Spring Symposium.
Yeah.
And it was sitting at the table, and they were talking, with the top producers in the Seattle area. And one of the VPs let out the hey, you got our business shrunk. And
you had to raise your little hand and goes, mine didn't.
Well, no, I didn't say anything.
No,
I was very.
You were there because you were the counter. You were the counterpoint.
But yeah, it was the moment of like, your business shrunk and mine had doubled.
Yeah.
Okay. We must be doing something radically different than everybody else.
And we are, it turns out.
And that was the moment that really clarified. It's like, yeah, we're going to 12 months of the year advertising with healthcare.
Yeah. Which nobody does.
No. And
the fact that we exist year round to help people and answer their questions about health insurance is completely, I think it's basically unheard of, at least in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, we know that the other enrollment centers can't operate that way.
No, they can't. But I'm not just talking enrollment centers. I'm just talking people who have health insurance, who do life and health as their model.
Yeah, they kind of plan, work as incidental around their vacations.
Yeah.
Well, it's the, I get reminders of that statement when, by the way, new clients approach us.
Okay.
It's the call to us like, oh my, return this call. It's this weird. It's like they have this expectation of not having the call returned.
Yeah.
And it's not just, one or two occasional persons or, difficult problems, because usually they don't mention their problems.
Yeah.
But it's this unusual tone that they have, an attitude.
It's like, you got back to me. You got back to me quickly. You got back to me within 24 hours. What?
But yeah, we're getting that consistently.
Yeah.
And
that tells us our fellow health people aren't doing that.
And it baffles me, because it's like one of the rules we had is if someone contacts us before 4, we do our absolute best to return that call that same day. Yeah,
it doesn't always happen, but you calls do not linger more than 24 hours.
Yeah, it's just
it's always next business day.
Yeah, Yeah. So it's that, getting that little affirmation that, hey, we got to keep doing this and keep answering these calls in a timely manner because no one else is doing it.
See, that baffles me. How can you let the opportunity to help somebody go like that? You see, you're doing the same thing. You don't get it either.
I don't. And it's really remarkable, but all our big aha moments have been those interactions from clients.
Yeah, they really have.
And they kind of paint a picture of how insurance agencies operate to them and what they don't like.
Yeah. And we've just kind of pivoted away from what people don't like and work a different direction.
Yeah, and that's why I think we get some of these unexpected reactions. So the hey, you returned our calls.
Yeah.
Or hey, you followed up. Or hey, you sent us a Delta card. It's this this everyone has this weird expectation that insurance agencies exist, A, for the insurance company, B, just to collect premium.
Yeah, that's because the service aspect has always been lip service.
Yeah,
or at least perceived as lip service.
And that's really important because we're the way we're developing. One of the aha moments we had to be the Pride Festival.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, we suspect we're doing the right thing. It's like, oh, here, let's have 600 bags on hand.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. And we were swarmed.
Yeah. Yeah. We were absolutely swarmed. And we ran out of bags within like 2 hours.
And it wasn't quite 2 hours.
It was a while. We didn't have enough to make it through the day, but
we did not have to make it through the day. And basically the last 2 hours of the day, we were kind of sitting and chilling, answering questions, and going, "Oh my gosh, we worked our butts off. This is an awesome crew."
Yeah, yeah.
And it was, and we could. It was one of those moments of why, as a business, it's so incredibly important to do business with the LGBTQ community.
Oh, absolutely.
And when a business gives lip service that they don't want to do that, you just look at it and it's like, okay, that is just horrible and wrong as a human and as a business.
Oh, you are really limiting yourself as a business when you do that.
Well, it's not that. It's they're letting personal judgments guide them into poor business decisions.
Yes. And can't it be said that sometimes you do the same thing on the opposite direction?
Generally, I'm running the opposite way. I'm letting good personal judgments guide me into good business decisions.
Good triumphs over evil.
Well, it's not that. Is I've got the weirdo training of, as a young boy, my father taking me to various shopping centers of Western Washington and people watching.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I had to watch different people and how they acted and how they reacted at a very early age of a wide assortment of culture.
So you had a much broader cultural assortment than I did.
Yeah, and so I can do this is how a person's probably going to react. I read people.
Yeah, you are. You're very good at that. I appreciate that about you.
And so, yeah, it kind of, I kind of point out, it's like, oh yeah, this is what, and I let my ethics guide me, when I first did my first agency, where did I put it? I put it in the south end of town.
Mm-hmm. Because you knew that those were where your clients were likely to needed to be served.
And it's so I've always had that sort of ethical guidance when it came to business.
Mm-hmm. You bet.
And it's guided, like I said, it's guided me in good ways, and I'm sure there's some bad ways out there, because I know that there's some people like, he's not professional. He wears hoodies.
You know what? Professionalism isn't what you look like. It's how you behave.
And yeah, and the thing is the people that are judging me on looks, mm-hmm. will judge me regardless of whether or not I do a good job. Mm-hmm. And I want people to experience what a good job feels like, because evidently there's some out there that need that experience, need that aha moment. It's one of the moments was on an earlier podcast was Charles McDade.
Yeah.
And
you've got a little a competition going on.
He is a wonderful family man with probably one of the cutest kids alive. My son is much older. Uh-huh. I am nowhere near that cute. I am nowhere near doing videos of his quality, because they are just funny and amazing.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of held as the kind of the banner child of Google reviews. Uh-huh. Because he's done some really one. Yeah, he's got 190. We've got 175.
Yeah, we're nipping at his heels.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, you don't have to be cute to win this game.
No, you just have to do your job and communicate.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's one of those things. It's the aha moment is there is those individuals, those associations of hanging out with those people that are challenging you and reaffirming you.
Yes.
Is incredibly valuable to personal growth.
Yep. As long as you're willing to be open to it. There's a present next to me.
I know. So we're gonna end it on there. So we give you some fuel to think on.
Yes, things to consider for 2023.
Yeah, because
set a goal.
Set.
And accept. Be open to accepting.
Well, here's the thing. It's more than setting goals, because this is really it's really kind of showed with the difference between Matt mm-hmm. and Matt.
Yes.
He really talked about numbers.
Yeah.
And it was that experience of numbers which led him to leads to some discoveries.
Right.
I'm talking about acknowledging a moment.
Yeah.
Which leads to discovery.
Yes.
It's very different, because his is gonna take some math, which is wonderful, and I do that.
And you like numbers too.
I do too. However, I think equally as important is being open mm-hmm. and experiencing those moments.
Yes. Be open to the moments around you. Be open to new experiences. Be open to doing things weirdly, because it's fun.
Yes, you got to do things. And that's one of the most important things about it, is you got to be doing.
Yeah.
You can't be just on cruise control. Uh-uh. You got to be doing things.
Yeah. You don't go to cruise control until you're retiring.
No.
And then even when you're retired, you do different things.
Yeah. You
but you're not, okay, in the sense that you're not building a business anymore. But you're building your life.
You're building family. You're always building something if you're growing.
Yeah. That's a good sentence to end on.
Okay, so hey, have a Merry Christmas. And we will be back next Thursday.
We'll be back before the end of the year. One more for the end of the year.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.